The end of Guardian Games, Titans have won the Guardian Games and have become the master race. Now, being the master race going into Season of the Deep, let me guys show you an all reliable build you can use going into Season of the Deep, so you can easily clear any content you need to do and just completely slay out. This build will have two different things that you can swap in and out to make this build work, and this is an all reliable build that you should have been using going into Season of the Deep. But let me just give you guys a tour of the exact build we will be using. With this build, we're going to have unlimited health regen, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to set that up. And you're going to have two different styles of this build. You can either be a team player, or you can either swap it when you're doing solo content when you don't even need the health regen. You're gonna have two different sources to regen your health. You're either gonna be using Devour or Volatile Explosions, and Volatile Explosions are gonna grant you and your teammates health, or we can swap that out so only you gain health and your teammates will not gain health anymore. We are gonna be able to consistently spam all of our abilities, because with Heart of the Innermost Light, the 5 seconds we are going to have an Empowered Grenade regen for will give us an 800% increase to our grenades. So our grenades are going to be very strong. In this build, we're going to have a debuff and a buff. Our debuff will be our weakening grenade that's going to weaken enemies every single time we hit an enemy with our scatter grenade, and our buff will be our super weapons of light. So in this kit, you're going to have unlimited ability energy span, you're going to have a debuff and a buff, and you're going to have the survivability to grant overshields to you and yourself. That's going to give you a 50% damage reduction. So you're going to be a walking tank and a walking nuke, able to slay out any content you choose. And you need this all reliable build to do any kind of content going straight into Season of the Deep, so you can grind it out. Let me show you guys exactly how we're going to set that up. Let's jump straight into the Void 3.0 subclass so we can get that started. So the Void 3.0 subclass, we will be using Bubble. Bubble grants us a buff we are talking about, which will be Weapons of Light. Weapons of Light is a strong buff for group play and solo play. Just keep in mind that buffs do not stack in the game, so pick and choose what you want to run, because you are rocking Bubble. You really don't need a well of ratings on the team. The barricade we are going to use is the rally barricade with a cooldown of 38 seconds. This is going to have two different capabilities. Since you're using Heart of Innermost Light, you can use this to buff your other or empower your other abilities, so you're able to spam them more consistently. And the second thing it's going to grant you is overshield. Overshields are going to grant you 50% damage reduction, and keep in mind, as long as your rally barricade is up, you can just step back into it and it will regen your overshield. Do not forget about that. So if you're struggling, taking a lot of damage, just go back to your rally barricade and that will regen all of your overshield. It just takes time and it's very slow. It's not going to be the quick pop. It's not going to be a quick refresh like when you're popping a brand new one. Your jump doesn't matter, and we're going to be rocking Shield Throw. Shield Throw is going to give us the capability to make enemies volatile from a reach if you want to go with that side of the build. The next thing we do have is Scatter Grenades. Scatter Grenades have a base cooldown of 1 minute and 45 seconds. We can shorten this down by running 100 discipline, but Scatter Grenades pump out a lot of damage, and you'll even be surprised. You can actually end up killing yourself while using this grenade if you throw it down on the ground and make enemies explode right in front of you. Now, the two different styles of build I was talking about will be by using two different aspects. So for the main build we are going to be rocking, which would be for a team play build, will be the aspects Controlled Demolition and the aspect Bastion. Controlled Demolition is going to grant us the ability to make enemies volatile, and once we hit them, once we make enemies volatile, any kind of damage is going to cause them to explode. So once they do explode, that's going to grant health back to us and our allies. This is very good for team playing. This is how you give your allies health as well, and how you are able to heal yourself while doing end level content. This is very important if you're doing a group activity, if you want to be a team player. The second aspect you do have is Bastion, and Bastion gives you the capability to make your barricades now grant you overshield. It's going to regenerate slowly, like I said before, if you stand behind it, and this is how you're going to be a very good team player. Now, you can swap out Controlled Demolition. Since you are going to be proccing Devour, you can swap out Controlled Demolition for over Offensive Bulwark. With Offensive Bulwark, while you have an overshield, your grenade recharge rate will be increased significantly. So we're able to spam everything more consistently. The only downside for running Offensive Bulwark is you're no longer able to heal your teammates, and you're giving yourself a more buff to your grenade recharge rate. And that's why you only see me have 3 fragments, because I continually swap between Controlled Demolition and Offensive Bulwark when I'm not doing group activities. When I'm doing solo content, I swap to Offensive Bulwark so I can just spam my abilities more consistently, and I'm not worried about any teammates since it's just me. But for this build setup, we're going to keep Controlled Demolition. For our fragments, the first fragment we do have will be Echo of Starvation. Picking up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power grants us Devour. Devour is the key way we are going to be regenerating our health. Devour means that as soon as we do kill an enemy with our Void ability and we gain the perk Devour, any kind of any kind of kill we gain, whether that be from an ability or from our guns, that will grant us full HP. So if you're struggling to clear any kind of activity, pick up Echo of Starvation in your Void 3.0 subclass, and it's going to grant you Devour. So anytime you do get Devour, you have a 10-second window to gain a kill, and once you gain a kill, no matter how low your HP is, it will refund your entire HP bar. The next thing we do have is Echo of Undermining. This is how we have a debuff in the build. This will make sure our grenades will weaken targets, and that means any single targets. And this is very good for solo activities when the bosses are very tanky and we need to have some kind of debuff so we're able to actually slay out. This weakens any single target, so trash mobs, even Carl, and bosses in general. This is a great way to apply a debuff or any content. The next thing we do have is Echo of Cessation, and Echo of Cessation means that when we do finisher final blows, will create a burst of void damage that causes nearby commands to become volatile, and when defeating volatile targets, it creates a void breach, and this synergizes very well with controlled demolitionists. So the hidden perk for this is actually that the void breaches actually grants you ability energy back, just like how we used to have wells back in the day. This grants you grenade energy back, or ability energy in general, to all of your abilities. So spawning lots of void breaches will grant you energy back, and that's how you're seeing me fully refund all my abilities and spam them consecutively. So that's pretty much it. That's it for the Void 3.0 subclass, and that's all you need to make this build work. The next things we do have are a couple of active mods. The active mods are mods that use all of your armor charge stacks as soon as you pop that ability, or you use that kind of as soon as you pop that ability. The two active mods we are going to be using in this build would be Grenade Kickstarter on our gauntlets, which means that anytime you pop our grenade, it's going to consume all the stacks of armor charge you do have. And the last thing we do have is Utility Kickstarter. Utility Kickstarter is going to expand all of our armor charge stacks once we do have armor charge stack in general. And the way we're going to be gaining armor charge stacks in this build is by using Firepower. Firepower grants us the ability to create orbs of power from our grenade final blows. And the last way we are creating orbs of power will be by using Kinetic Siphon. You can swap out the siphon to whatever guns you are rocking in this build. I was rocking Wishing to clear the lost sector, so that's why I have it on. So swap out your siphon mods for any kind of mods you need, or for the weapons you are running. That's how you're gonna be able to spawn lots of orbs of power. And that's how we're pretty much using for the build. All the other mods will be standard. I will have a dim link, and I will show the entire mods I'm using at the end of the video, so you guys can see exactly what to put on. Or if you want to copy this build exactly, it will be shown at the end of the video. But that's it for the build, guys. You have two active mods. You have Grenade Kickstarter and Utility Kickstarter, and the only other thing you need is a way to spawn orbs of power to use those armor charge stacks. So we're spawning orbs of power by using our weapons and by using our grenade ability. If you guys like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and please turn on the post notifications. I will be going through a lot of different builds since we are kicked off in Season of the Deep. So if you want to stay up to date with the new builds I'm bringing to you, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.